Obsidian Flames, the brand new set is out, and today we're going to be taking a look at what's been going on in the market since the release of Obsidian Flames. Was it a flop? Is it a hit? What's really going on? Well, let's find out. Alright guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at Obsidian Flames. The set has been out, what, maybe a couple of weeks now? And I've been seeing Charizards being pulled left, right and centre. We have managed to pull the Gold Charizard and the normal EX, but the other two still kind of evade us at this moment. In total, we've opened up, what, 3 booster boxes? So not a crazy amount of pulls to be had, and packs to be opened, but everyone seems to be getting these crazy pull rates. And now I don't know whether or not this is going to be true in total. Apparently the set is going to be a lot easier to complete. I personally haven't opened up any myself yet. I'm still debating whether or not I want to, or just go and get the cards I really want. So today we'll be looking at the booster box, what's been going on with that, and the individual cards and the pull rates, so we all know what's going on. All right, get into it. Okay, we're starting off with the booster box. Now it's been out, what, maybe 2 weeks if that, and to be fair, it's doing okay. Actually, to be honest, it's doing okay. It's doing actually better than Paldea Evolved and Scarlet and Violet base. So it has dropped since its release. It did come out around $115. Over here in the UK, you could pick them up for around that, 110, 115. They have dropped over here. You can pick them up in a few places for between 100 to 105. So they have been going down, and they also have been going down on TCG Player to 107. So they have dropped just a little bit. I do still feel like that's better than Paldea Evolved and Scarlet and Violet base set. We'll have to wait and see. I kind of feel like it's definitely better than Scarlet and Violet base, but probably not as good as Paldea Evolved. But we'll have to wait and see. I do feel like this is not a Darkness Ablaze. Okay, there's actually Charizards in this set that's actually worth some actual value, and the pull rates seem apparently pretty good, and we'll get into the pull rates in just a moment. But overall, this seems to be pretty good. Would I pick this up to keep sealed? I think so. I mean, it's not, you might get it a little bit cheaper, down the line if it gets like a second reprint. We get the second wave coming like you did with the first 2 sets. It might drop to 100 a box, 95 a box. You could get it a little bit cheaper, but still around that 100 to 105, I would say, is not that bad. I've been picking up booster boxes for around £100 over here, and I do feel like that's pretty good. I do feel like that's pretty good, especially is you get somewhat a decent amount of pulls. Speaking of pull rates, so we got the big boy Charizard at 216. That's actually really good. Like that's really good. We've been seeing some of these from other sets, but over 300, 400, 500. I think like the Giratina from Lost Origin was over 700. There are some that are just absolutely bonkers. So 216. I mean, what you're probably looking at, what, 4? Maybe no more than 4 booster boxes, maybe about 6 booster boxes, maybe 1 per case. But I've been seeing some people going, look, I pulled 3 in 3 boxes, I pulled 2 in the same box, something crazy. So yeah, a bit weird one there. Then we got the gold one and 1 in 160. And that's actually not too bad, which we have pulled that one. Then you got the other one, the kind of like the less exciting one, at 1 in 196. We haven't pulled that one, so that one's actually pretty tough to get. Then the normal EX. This is the crazy thing. A normal EX in 1 in 169 packs is tough. Is very tough. Well, I think we've managed to pull 1, maybe 2. But it is getting tough, and we'll get to the prices and how this is reflected in the prices as well. Then we got the Gita coming in at 1 every 216, the Pidgeot on 1 in 188. We got the Titar, but my boy Titar coming in at 188, and the Ninetales, this is my chase card in the set, 1 in 160, and the Cleffa, I do know a lot of people love that one as well, again on 1 in 160. I mean, they're not technically, they're not that difficult compared to some of the other sets, but I do feel like this set is easier because of how small the pool is, and we'll get to that right now. So secret rare hit rate is 18%, which is actually really low. So in all honesty, that is actually really low, and that's the chance of getting at least 1 hyper rare, special illustration rare, and ultra rare. That's not actually that great. Then we got the double rares, which is 1 every 7 packs. So what are you looking at? Maybe 4 to 5 a box. Then we're looking at ultra rares, 1 in 15, so basically 2 a box. Illustration rares, 1 in 13, so again probably 2, maybe 3 a box. Special illustration rare, 1 in 32, and there isn't actually that many to choose from. That's probably why we're getting these a little bit easier than before. And the hyper rares, which is the gold, is 1 every 52. So some people had some really good pull rates, some people had some really good good pull rates, bad pull rates. I think this is actually quite a generous set. even though the volume of pulls per box isn't actually that great, the chances to get some of these big top end cards is actually not that bad. So that might have an effect on the prices, which we'll get to right now. All right, starting off with the big boy. He is dropping. He is dropping. So it came out at a really hyped price. It's Charizard. It's going to happen, right? So we go back a month. Hasn't really been out a month. We go out from its pre-order price, 280, right? And now we've seen it at 92. So it has actually dropped a fair amount. Let's be realistic. This card came out around about $110. So it came out just above 110. The Ono from Paldea Evolved is over 100. That's the only, well, that and now the Charizard are the only two that are holding the fort at the $100 mark, roughly. I do feel like this will continue to drop, especially if these pull rates are very generous. The pull rates for the Ono and Paldea Evolved are very tough, so I can see that card holding its value. Big boy Charizard. It's not a trainer, which I'm really happy with. You know, I don't like the fact that a trainer card is the most valuable card in the set. I'm happy it's a Charizard, or at least a Pokemon. Although I do feel like people are getting a little bit sick of Charizard. You know, the novelty is kind of wearing off a little bit. People are like, oh, come on, let's give some of the other Pokemon a chance. You know what I mean? Me, personally, I want to see some Venusaur get some love. And Blastoise, of course. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with the Charizard. Do I feel like it will hold value? No. I do feel like it will drop. Where will it drop to? We don't know. Now, if the pull rates are going to be very good, I could see this dropping a fair amount. Probably not as fast as Scarlet and Violet base set was, but potentially settling around maybe $60, I think maybe, but we'll have to wait and see. But I do expect this to drop. Onto the Golden Boy. Now, this one again has also dropped. As we've seen, this one is, you know, not that difficult to pull. We have pulled it ourselves in 3 boxes. I know some people pull loads. I mean, some people, they've opened up 4 or 5 boxes in a row and they've got this in every single box. So some are really lucky, some clearly aren't. So we're looking at $40 for this. Now, when it came out, yes, it looks like 110, but let's be realistic, it really wasn't. We're looking at it coming out around 38, so it's actually pretty steady since its release, even though there's a ton of it around. It'll be interesting to see, you know, where this holds up. I do feel like it is a, you know, pretty awesome card, to be fair. It looks really nice in person. I've only pulled this one, not the other one, so I don't really know what the other one looks like, but this actually looks really nice. I was a bit skeptical to begin with. I was like, this looks like a bit too much going on, but it actually looks pretty sweet. So this is a nice one for your collection. It will drop, you know, because the pull rates seem to be quite easy, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, now we've got a different one. Now we've got the other Charizard. Because the pull rates are a little bit tougher, this one's actually going up in price. $33 right now on the chart. Now, it did get a kind of hyped pre-order price at $55, but it came out at $25 and now it's $33. Because this is harder to pull, I expect this actually to might overtake the gold. This might eventually overtake the gold one. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this was actually going up. Now there is another one that's going up, which we'll get to in a minute, but overall it's doing pretty well and I expect it to do well moving forward, because it is going to be a little bit tougher. I haven't pulled this yet, so I can't really compare the two. I'm not a huge fan of these style. Like, we pulled the Vesper Queen from this set like 4 times in 3 boxes, which is crazy. It would be nice if it was this one, but you know, we pulled the Vesper Queen 3 times and 4 times in 3 boxes. But you know, I'm not a huge fan of these. Then we got a weird one. We have the normal Charizard EX. As we saw, it was quite tough to pull for a regular EX of the set. Look here, guys. Look here, $28 for a normal EX. Okay. It came out at $28. It had a pre-order price, high pre-order price at $28. It came out at $20 to $18, $20. And look at it. We've only seen a very few amount of cards after release shoot up in price. You know, the Art Giratina from Lost Origin and the Art Machamp from Astral Radiance. This is just a normal EX, right? But it's really tough to pull. I don't know why it's so difficult to pull. You know, from this set, it's really, really crazy. Now, this is a really playable card in the TCG. I've just started to learn how to play, and I've been noticing it quite a bit in quite a lot of games. I've been playing against it a lot. So a lot of people are playing this card, so I would assume that it's good. So that's one of the reasons why that's going to have a slightly inflated price. And if it continues to be playable cards and the pull rates are tough, this will continue to go up. This could be the second most expensive Charizard in the set, and it's just a regular EX. That's actually pretty good going. And then we have the Pidgeot EX. And this is another one that's gone up a little bit since its release as well. This is a pretty cool. I like the artwork line of this, the Pidgey, the Pidgeot, and the Pidgeot. And let's take a look at this. So again, of course, the pre-order price was extremely high. It came out at $16 and it's now $18. It's not like crazy gains, but it's on the uptick, which is actually pretty good going. It's not Charizard, but people do like this, and again, apparently it's a playable card. So again, we're going to start seeing if they're playable cards going up in price to reflect that. We've seen it in multiple sets of that happening to a certain amount of cards, so that's pretty good. Do I expect this to go up? I do expect this to go probably above $20. The pull rates of this one, again, isn't very easy. It'll be interesting to see moving forward, but I do like the art style. It does look pretty sweet. So that's what's been going on with Obsidian Flames. It hasn't really crashed as much as I thought it would. I thought that, you know, because the pull rates are going to be easy, quote, easy, that these prices were going to be dropping across the board, and they really haven't. You know, the big boy Charizard has been dropping, fair enough. I do kind of expect that to drop because, you know, it's a little bit easier than expected to pull, and it came out at such a high price that I do expect it to fall. But the other Charizards are holding strong, especially the regular EX. That's just ridiculous. So I wouldn't dismiss this set right now. You can pick up booster boxes for a decent price. I do expect them to drop when the second wave comes out, but it's still pretty good. And the pull rates, the number of pulls seem to be a bit weak. The pull rates are actually pretty good for the top end cards. So is now a great time to crack packs? Absolutely. Is now a great time to pick up sealed? Yes and no. I would say it's up to you, but I would suggest probably wait into the second wave to get it just a little bit cheaper. But if you can pick up for 100, that's a really good deal. If you've made this far into the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and of course, leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on Obsidian Flames? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's a complete waste of time? Are you looking forward to 151? I know you are, so even if you say no, you are. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on Obsidian Flames. Personally, I think it's better than Scarlet Violet base. Not as good as Power Layer Evolved. We don't know about 151 yet, so we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of great deals, if you know what's great to add into your collection right now, make sure to click on this video right here. And if you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.